do you have some documentation showing that you had continuous coverage that entire time?
Yes, Your Honor, I had documentation when I left Allstate to go to State Farm. I made sure I got State Farm insurance. About a week later, then I canceled it.
Okay, well, this lapse wouldn't occur unless it was greater than 10 days. Do you recall getting a letter from them saying that if you paid $25 and showed proof of insurance that they would not suspend your registration? They send that letter to the address that you have on file with the Department of Driving Services.
No, I don't think I received it because I've been working out of town in Nashville, sir.
Okay, so they sent you a letter and basically said, Mr. McDaniels, if you can show us proof of insurance, this would have been a while ago, and you pay the $25, then you will not receive this offense. It's when that didn't happen, that's what led to this offense.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this is a suspendable offense. I will tell you, if it is your first time, I usually reduce it down to a non-suspendable offense, but you would have to pay the fine of $600. The window tint charge, there will be no fine on that one. You can let me know if you want to accept that, sir, or if not, if you'd like to go forward with the trial, we can go forward with the trial with the understanding that if by some chance you are convicted, sir, I would need to suspend your license. And do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna make myself clear. So even though that I got insurance before I even cancel all state insurance.
Judge, can I interrupt real quick?
Yes.
So, what Mr. McDaniels was stating was that he changed insurance companies, but he didn't cancel the policy on the old one until a week after he got the new one. So if the documents that you're showing to the court, Mr. McDaniels, show that you started a policy with a different company at least 5 days before, I'm sorry, at some point before you received your citation,
yes,
that vehicle you were driving was covered with another company, then we're approaching it from a different matter. Is that not right, Your Honor?
We will be, but his problem is that he did not cure the notice from the Department of Motor Vehicle. And so we're going to have to inquire as to, he needs to be able to show us that he had continuous coverage for that 1 year period prior to the ticket date.
Yes, I have.
I think that's the letter that he has. He had coverage when he switched over. He had coverage with another company that probably wasn't reported. I think that's what he was trying to state to the court.
All right. So Mr. McDaniels, let us be clear, because I think the prosecutor is raising a good point. Do you have something that shows that you had coverage from November 18th, 2021 through November 19th of 2022? We need to be able to verify you had consistent coverage on that car for that time period, because for some reason, your insurance company has reported there was a lapse that was not cured.
These are dates from 2022. He's saying you need a year prior to, and those are just for 2022.
Oh, okay. So I need a year prior to. I can get that information from Allstate, Your Honor.
Okay.
Because
let me ask you, what insurance company were you with back in November of 2021?
Allstate.
All right. Do you have the policy number, the name, the policy number, and the telephone number so that we could contact them and verify that you had coverage, and then we can verify the information that you have now?
Yes, I got it right here.
Okay, that's what I thought. So what policy did you have in 2022?
I went with State Farm.
Okay, so you should have two policies that you're giving us. One is Allstate and the other one is State Farm.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Green, do we have a policy from Allstate and State Farm?
I have one from Allstate, but
That's State Farm.
okay. Here's the Allstate one, and this is just saying information as of June 7th of 2022. And it lists the policy number as canceled.
Yeah, that's what I called it in.
Okay, but Mr. McDaniel, you're representing today that when we call Allstate, that's the policy you had back in November of 2021.
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Green, I wish he had done this before, but let's contact Allstate. What we want to know, he needs to get a coverage letter that shows he had coverage from November 18th of 2021 from Allstate. And then he needs to provide us with a coverage letter of when he got the other policy to show that there were no lapses.
Okay,
But what led to this, sir, is that they sent you a letter and wanted you to clarify this early on. And it's kind of one of those loops in the law.
Yeah.
And when you don't clarify it, this is what happens, okay?
I understand, Your Honor.
Yeah, so when can you have that? Because rather than them trying to call, it may just be simpler for you to provide that information and then they can verify it. When can you verify or get a letter of coverage from Allstate from November 18th of 2021? Now, when did your other policy start?
My other policy started in June 01 of 22.
June, okay.
And
So,
I canceled Allstate June the 7th.
okay, then that should be easy. You should, Allstate should be able to cover from November 18th, 2021 up through June 7th of 2022. Is that right?
Yes.
And then the other policy should pick up on June 1st of 2022 and carry you up through November 19th of 2022.
There you go.
Okay. But you don't have that with you today.
No, I can get it today because I'm in town for the whole week, so I can go to Allstate myself, pick it up.
Okay, so we have court at 1 o'clock. Why don't you come back at 1 o'clock? But they're going to need to verify this. So will you be able to do that today, Ms. Green, or is it better to continue this?
we'll be able to do it before the 1 o'clock.
That's assuming he gets it to you before 1 o'clock.
That's correct.
Yes. Okay. All right. Sir, all right, we will give you that opportunity, Ms. Green, but if not, we may just end up having to reset this. But let's put this on for the 1 o'clock calendar.
Okay.
All right. Now, sir, do you want to come physically back to court or do you want to handle it virtually?
I'll come physically.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me go over what I need. I need for you to write these dates down for me.
Okay.
I need for you to show me an Allstate policy from November 18th of 2021 through June the 7th of 2022.
Okay. November 18 or 21.
Through June 7th of 2022. I then need for you to show me the new policy, which you said is State Farm, from June 1st of 2022 up through November 19th of 2022.
Yeah. Okay.
You got that?
Yes.
All right. Repeat that back to me.
No, I need to show your policy Allstate November 18th until June, November 18th to 2021 to June the 7th of 22.
Yes. And then your Allstate policy is?
That's my Allstate policy from June 18th.
Yeah, then your State Farm policy started on?
June the 1st.
And then you wanted to run it up through what date?
Until now I still have the same.
Okay, I only need for you to run it up through November 19th of 2022.
November 19th.
Yeah, you need to run it up through the ticket date. I just want to be sure you
Okay.
get the coverage period.
Got
Okay,
you. I got you.
so State Farm should be from June 1 of 2022 through November 19th of 2022.
Yeah, I got a State Farm right here. The
You
document.
have the declaration page, but they need to be able to confirm the coverage. So you got to understand that when you first get a policy, they give you all of that, but that doesn't mean the policy was in force all that time.
Gotcha.
So that's what they have to verify because they're representing the policy was not in force. And it sounds like yours was not in force because you did not respond to that letter.
Okay.
So when you were out of town, who was checking your mail?
Hoping my wife, sir.
Okay, all right.
And I fuss with her all the time. So
Well, don't fuss with her, but I'm just letting you know that's why
got
you
it mailed.
have this glitch, okay?
yeah,
We'll
after,
see you
yeah.
back here at 1 o'clock, okay?
All right.
Okay, thank you. You want to get the next person, Ms. Green?
Yes, we have Emmanuel Tucker's here,
Okay,
and we did have another one, Mr. Lares, he just walked in.
all right, and Emmanuel Tucker is in the same spot.
Yeah, Emmanuel Tucker's.
So, Mr. Tucker, did you own this car from November 18th of 2021 through November 19th of 2022?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you received notice from your insurance company that there was a lapse of insurance during that time frame?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you been to the tag office since you got this ticket and they told you there was a lapse of insurance between November 18th of 2021 through November 19th of 2022?
No.
No, you haven't been to the tag office, and no, they haven't told you that.
I mean, when I went to the tag office, I went to the one at Greenbrier Mall. And they told me I had to pay a fee or something, but I had insurance.
You had to pay a fee of $85,
Yeah,
which would have been $60 plus $25.
yeah, that's what they were saying, but I had insurance.
You had it at the time of the stop, but they were saying that you had a lapse of insurance prior to that day. You understand that?
Yeah,
So having had to pay that, what is your plea to this offense? And the reason why we do this is because this is a suspendable offense. And sometimes people come to court thinking one thing when it's something different. So you were here because your insurance company has reported that you had a lapse of insurance. And it looks like, and I appreciate it, you went to the tag office and they then informed you by having you to pay the $60 and the $25 lapse fee. So what is your plea to this offense? Is it not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere? And if you do not understand what I'm saying, just simply, Judge, I don't understand, and tell me what you're not understanding.
So what's a NOLO?
The NOLO would keep your license out of suspension, assuming you have not pled a NOLO plea to a suspendable offense within the last 5 years.
I do that?
Okay. Do you want to tender a NOLO plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that by entering into the NOLO plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into this plea, Mr. Tucker, freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe, Mr. Tucker, that it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
So you said to stop my license from being suspended?
The NOLO plea will keep this suspended registration from allowing your license to go into suspension. If you believe that they weren't in suspension and you want to go forward with the trial, you have the right to do that, and you would just simply stick by your not guilty plea, and we would call the case for trial momentarily. So it is your decision.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
NOLO.
All right. Do you believe entering into the NOLO plea, sir, that it's in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, the court will accept the NOLO plea to the driving on suspended license charge. Ms. Green, if you will reduce this to expired registration to ensure that it does not suspend his license.
Yes, sir.
The fine amount for this will be $600. There will be no fine on the defective headlight. Do you understand that, Mr. Tucker?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to pay the $600 in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
I need a longer period of time.
All right, sir, you will be placed on probation for 12 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your probation will end once you have paid the fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, understand that every month that you're on probation, you are required to pay a monthly probation fee up to 3 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that if you violate your probation, they can bring you in front of the court on a probation revocation calendar? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me regarding the sentence of this court?
No.
Okay, sir, if you will please have a seat, they will have you to sign your plea form, enter a NOLO plea, and then they will provide you with information regarding probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You want to call the next person, Ms. Green?
Yes, sir. We have Mr. Anthony Layers. Is it Layers? And we also have Officer Glover and Thicklin as well. He has 2 different cases, 2 different officers, and both of the officers are here.
Okay, let me get the plea from Mr. Layers. Mr. Layers, let me start first with the violation of leash law, please, sir. What is your plea to that? Is it not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
NOLO, sir.
Let me be clear, on the leash law violation, you're entering a NOLO plea?
Yeah.
Is he eligible for a NOLO plea? And is this,
Yes,
is this
Yes.
the ordinance violation?
yes,
All right. Mr. Lares, do you understand that by entering into the no-low plea to the leash law, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes.
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes.
Are you entering into the plea, sir, freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, the fine for the leash law violation is $375. Do you understand that?
Yes, I have a question.
What is your question, sir?
I had, a lease law, fine before. It was like $140.
I don't know where you had that, but it would not have been here in the city of Forest Park. You know, the different municipalities have different fine amounts for their violations, and it's cumulative based on other charges. Although I was unaware that you had a previous leash law violation, because I'm not looking at your history right now.
All right. Okay.
Okay, but let me just say this to you. If you've had this violation before, I just would caution you to try to do everything you can to make sure it doesn't happen again. Was it the same dog?
Yes, sir.
And when did you have the previous violation?
2020.
Okay. So why don't we try to minimize this so you're not having to come to court to deal with this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you pay that in 2 weeks, sir, or do you need a longer period of time to pay it?
I need a longer period of time, sir.
Okay, you will be placed on probation for 6 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your probation will end the moment this is paid. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that every month that you're on probation for the first 3 months, you will have to pay a monthly probation fee? Do you understand that?
Yes, yes, sir.
And do you understand that if you violate your probation, they will bring you back in front of the court on a probation revocation calendar? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me regarding the sentence of the court on the leash law violation?
No, sir.
All right, now the next charge looks like this was a traffic accident with Sonia Espinal, and you were charged with following too closely. What is your plea to that charge? Is it not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
It's a no-no, sir.
All right. Now, is he eligible for the nolo plea on this moving violation? The first one he just used was on a city ordinance violation, so that does not show on his record. Does he have a nolo that's available to him?
no, he does not.
All right, so sir, you're not eligible for a nolo plea. Did this accident result in property damage?
Yes, sir.
All right, did it result in any bodily injury to anyone that you are aware of?
No, sir.
All right. So what do you want your plea to be to this, sir? And I don't know, you're not eligible for a nolo plea, although I don't mind making this a non-reportable offense if you want to enter a plea. If not, if you want to wait around and see if the witness doesn't show up, then the charge may very well be dismissed anyway. What would you like to do?
I would like to, excuse me, sir, you say, I can, wait around to see if the witness.
We can see, right, but if the witness shows up, they're gonna go forward with this case. And if you're convicted, understand I'm not gonna reduce it to a non-reportable offense. So if you want to take a plea on this, I will make this a non-reportable offense because you're not eligible for a nolo plea.
Okay,
So why don't you tell me what you'd like to do?
I'll plead guilty.
All right, do you understand, sir, that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the guilty plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the guilty plea?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, upon your entering of the guilty plea and the payment of the fine of 175, this will be reduced to a non-reportable offense. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The fine amount is 175. Can that be paid in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
I need a longer period of time, sir.
All right, sir, for that matter, you will be placed on probation for 12 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your probation will end upon the payment of the fine.
Yes, sir.
You will be placed on pay-only probation, which means you would only have to pay 3 months of a probation. And if, of course, on both of these, if you pay the fine within the first 29 days, you do not have to pay a monthly probation fee. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, sir, you understand that if you violate the terms of your probation, they can bring you back in front of the court on a probation revocation calendar. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me regarding the sentence of the court?
No, sir.
All right, sir, if you'll please have a seat, Ms. Green will give you your plea form as well as your probation information for that matter as well.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Ms. Green, is there anyone else in the courtroom?
No, sir, that's it.
All right, then let's handle the people in the queue. And are there any? I see the announcements regarding the officers. Are there any additional announcements? Okay,
I have an additional for Ms. Sagara on page 4.
Yeah.
She was supposed to bring the male that lives at the residence with her to court and or her parents.
thank you. Okay,
And then Officer Moriarty, he has a court conflict.
okay. So that,
And for page 2, Brunson,
let me just put down for Moria, he has a court conflict.
correct.
So he's on page 2.
Page 2, Brunson and Chappelle. And then the last one has already been handled.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, thank you.
And one other, Officer Doss on page 4.
Okay.
He's not going to be here today.
Does he have a,
It's due to my error. There are 2 Officer Doss. I
Uh-huh.
sent it to his brother. I sent the request to his brother. Well, the court
so
information to his
is
brother.
this S-DOS?
Right. We have Cigar Doss and then we have Sakat Doss.
Okay, all right. And
I
it looks,
sent it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, it looks like he only had one case, which was the McDaniels case.
Correct.
Okay. So I think we put that one on at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Mr. Prosecutor, did you get that, sir?
I did.
Okay, all right, well, let's go ahead and let the people in the queue.
Hello.
Yes, as you come into the queue, if you will please mute your device, please make sure that and type your full name and your email address in the chat. Please understand that you are in virtual court and that this is being recorded video and audio. So make sure you are not laying down, that you are in a professional setting and that there are no distractions in your background. Young lady, Miss Makia, I'm gonna need for you to put on a jacket or something to cover yourself. And please take the bonnet off of your head.
Oh no, I can't take that off.
Place your device on mute and type your full name and your email address in the chat. I'd like to welcome everyone to the City of Forest Park Municipal Court. This is our virtual session, which is provided as a courtesy to you. But there are certain rules of virtual court that would exist just like if you were coming to court. Number 1, please make sure that there are no hats or other things on your head. Please make sure that there are no distractions in your background. Keep your device on mute. Your video needs to be turned on at all times. And we have to ensure that you have proper connectivity. Of course, if you violate any of these rules of virtual court, we will simply suspend the session, unfortunately, and you will have to come down to the courthouse directly. So please go ahead and type your full name and your email address in the chat and send it to FPMC. Type your full name and email address in the chat and send it to FPMC. We will handle the attorney matters first, and then we will get to the non-attorney matters. I see Attorney Hazen. If you will unmute, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. I hope you are too.
I'm doing very well. You were here on Brunson, is that correct?
Yes, Reginald Brunson.
Okay, let me just say this to you. The officer in this case has a court conflict that I have to recognize because it was filed timely and he did everything he's supposed to do. So did you want to pre-trial the case with the prosecutor? Did you want to have an announcement, a bind over? Tell me, what was your desire this morning?
Well, I was just retained last night, so I know
Okay.
very little about the case. So if we could reset this, we did file an entry so I can get some discovery, and then I'd like to speak with the prosecutor once I have that. So if we could just give us a reset date now, maybe that would be the best way to approach it.
All right, then what we will do is that this will be a reset requested by the city and by the defense. And so this matter will be removed and it will be reset, Attorney Hazen.
Are you going to give us a reset date now, Your Honor, or should we just wait?
I think that they will normally email those out, which is why they're asking for the court date. They're asking for you to type your name and email address in the chat. But Ms.
Okay.
Yates, do we have a range of court dates that might come up on this matter?
Will it be an arraignment?
It will be another arraignment for a pretrial.
It will be in April,
All right.
mid to late April.
It will be mid to late April, Attorney Hazen.
Can we just avoid April 7th? I'm having elbow surgery on that day.
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
They'll do it after April 7th, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. If you will, Mr. Brunson, your attorney, this case is being reset. So you and Mr. Brunson, have you typed your full name and email address in the chat?
Yeah, I typed my name in, but I'm trying to do the email, and I'm having a little problem. I'm really not knowing how to do this, but I'm trying.
Go to the chat and type it in to FPMC. But Attorney Hazen, have you typed it in so we could forward all of this information to you, knowing you will forward it to your client?
I've just typed it in, Your Honor.
Wonderful. Do we have Attorney Hazen's information?
One moment.
Okay.
Take a look at the second email I typed in. I made a mistake on the first one. I added
You did it in the chat, or you did it
You
via
sent
email?
it to me?
I did it to FPMC lobby.
Okay, he did it to
Yolanda got it. then.
I got it.
All right, they have it, Attorney Hazen. So thank you. You will get your reset notice, and if you'll just forward that to your client, unless he's able to finally get his email address.
I will
in.
do that. Yolanda, take a look. When I sent the email address, I had a typo in the first email address, and I just sent the second one.
Yes, I see it. So the correct one is barry@barryhazen.com.
That's me, yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Brunson, let me just ask, what is your email address?
FATBOME35@gmail.com.
That's FATBOME35@gmail.com.
FATD as in dog.
D as in dog. Okay, DOME 35@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
Let me say the words. That's fatdome35@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sometimes when you say these email addresses back, it makes you chuckle a little bit. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Miss Yates, do we have Mr. Brunson's email address?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Attorney Hazen, always good to see you, sir. And we will see you all back here on your reset date.
Thank you.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
you all take care. Okay.
All right.
It looks like that we have Attorney Catherine Edmonds. How are you doing?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm well. How are you?
Good. And you're here for Lee Elder?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you want to has this matter been pre-tried with the prosecutor, or do you have an announcement this morning?
I think we still need a pretrial. I think there may be some chemical test results that we haven't received. So I'd like an opportunity to speak with the city solicitor.
Okay, Mr. Prosecutor, will will that be able to take place today, or does this matter need to be reset to give you a little bit more time?
So Judge, I'm looking at the discovery. It does not appear that we've received the chemical test back, so we have to check on that. So we should just reset it so I can get that information back to council. That way we can determine which direction we're going to go to at that point. But I do not, yeah, I don't have it in the current discovery that I have.
Okay. Well, Attorney Edmonds, this matter will be reset to allow the city time to get that. I'm noting this reset is on behalf of the city. And that'll give you all time to pre-try it, and you all can make an announcement to the court. Is your client present?
No, he's not, Your Honor. In the future, would you like him to be present?
He always needs to be present.
And I apologize, Your Honor, that I didn't realize he needed to be. He will be there next time.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we have her email information to send the reset notice to, Ms. Yates?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Attorney Edmonds, thank you so much and good seeing you, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well. Have a great day.
All right, you take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Hey, Ms. Yates or Ms. Green, can you do me a favor? I also don't have a police report attached to this particular file. So if we can look into that and the police report, this is Officer Chavez's case.
Will do.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the calendar now and call the calendar. When you hear your name, please unmute your device. But before I do that, everyone, please make sure that your full name, your email address is typed in the chat and sent to FPMC. Please make sure your video is turned on unless you are a police officer. Thank you. So let's go back to the top to Cassandra Al Kosabia. Well, excuse me, Cassandra Al Kosaba and Jerron Alexander. These appear to be charges where it was a car accident or something, and both people were charged. So I see, is Jerron Alexander, if you will unmute?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. And is Cassandra Al Kosiba here? Cassandra Al Kosiba. Am I pronouncing that right, Miss Ida?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very
It's
close.
Alcosiba, Cassandra Alcosiba.
Okay, that is an FTA. It is now 8:43. And it looks like, Mr. Prosecutor, that Jerron Alexander was charged with failure to yield. And the witness, who is Cassandra Al Kosiba, is not here. Does the city have an announcement on this?
Yes, Your Honor, we would dismiss for warrant of prosecution on Mr. Alexander.
All right, Mr. Alexander,
Yes, sir.
the city is dismissing this case for warrant of prosecution. Have you typed your name and email address in the chat, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, do we have Mr. Alexander's information?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Alexander, you will receive a plea form through your email, through DocuSign. If you will enter a not guilty plea and send it back, then the court can formally enter a order of dismissal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, understand, if you don't send it back, this will remain an open case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. With the case, would there be any type of way that I would be able to get my car fixed behind this? Because I was never in the wrong behind it. That's why they ended up getting her the citation. So I was trying to see if there are any further actions that I can take as far as getting my car fixed by her insurance company.
Well, I think you should speak with an attorney regarding that. Oftentimes, personal injury attorneys can assist you with that.
Okay.
And they will give you some advice on what to do. Understand, she was charged with a cell phone violation and you were charged with failure to yield. So let the attorney advise you as to whether or not you have a claim or not. I don't know, okay?
Yes, sir. You said I would need to speak with the injury attorney?
I think you should speak with a personal injury attorney. They tend to be able, that tends to be their practice area, and they can give you some advice as to whether or not you have a claim for any property damage or any bodily injury that may have taken place.
All right.
Okay, you can
Yes, sir.
disengage, sir, and you will receive your plea form no later than close of business tomorrow.
Mr. Alexander?
It just came through my
Okay.
email.
Okay.
I'm about to sign it right now and send it back to y'all.
Thank
so
you.
much. All
All
right.
right, yeah.
Next is Francisco Alvarez. Francisco Alvarez.
Alvedañez Francisco Omar. Si se encuentra, por favor, active su micrófono y su cámara.
That's an FTA, Ms. Ida.
Okay.
All right, thank you. FTA will be issued. Next is it Gia Benton? I thought I saw her. Gia Benton, if you'll please turn your video on, young lady.
It's on.
No, it is not. We cannot see you.
It's
Thank
on.
you. Thank you. Ms. Benton, you're charged with a failure to maintain insurance and a following too closely charge. What is your, and so first let me ask, do you have proof that there was valid insurance on the vehicle you were operating on March 16th, 2022?
I put insurance on the vehicle right then and there on the spot, but it was not my car, and I did not know that it was uninsured.
Okay. So did you own, so you do understand you can be charged as a driver of the vehicle. Let me first say that to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But let me just ask, did you have insurance on any other vehicle that covered you at that time?
At that time, I have a vehicle.
Okay, your connectivity is not that good. I'm gonna need for you to repeat what you just said.
No, at that time, I did not have a vehicle.
Okay. So what is your plea to that charge? Is it not guilty, guilty, or do you want us to see if you're eligible for a no-low plea?
Not guilty.
Okay, we will call your case for trial momentarily. Do you understand that? All right, we'll come back to that case for trial. Okay. Next is George Chappelle. George Chappelle. That is FTA. It is 8:48. Next is Trevor Fleming.
Here.
Yeah. Ms. Fleming, you're charged with a stop sign violation. What is your plea to that? Guilty, not guilty, no low contendere?
Not guilty.
All right, does the city have an announcement in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the city will move to dismiss for want of prosecution.
All right, Ms. Trevor, I've been notified that this officer is no longer with the city. So the city is dismissing this case for want of prosecution. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
I have, but I'll retype it again, definitely.
Well, let me just check. Ms. Yates, do we have Ms. Fleming's information?
Yes, we do.
All right, Ms. Fleming, you will receive through your email, through DocuSign, your plea form, enter a not guilty plea and send that back. Once you've done that, the court can enter the order of dismissal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Until you've done that now, this case will remain open. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. You can disengage. James Fulton.
All right, thank you.
James Fulton. That is FTA.
Your Honor, can Officer Edwards be released? He's in here with me.
Yes, he can. Thank you, Officer Edwards. We've reset Quentin McDaniels. Makia Olabryce.
Here.
All right, Miss Olabryce, you'll need to turn your video on, young lady. And what is your plea to the disorderly conduct charge?
Not guilty.
Okay, we will call this matter for trial momentarily. All right, we'll come back to you, okay?
Okay.
Next is Vanessa Sagata.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Sagara, I understand you were supposed to bring certain relatives in your household with you to court today.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Are they here?
Yes.
Okay. Does the city have an announcement in this matter?
Judge, I think we reset Ms. Sagara because she was supposed to bring the gentleman that was at the location when the officer arrived, and according to the officer gave information that the dog belonged to that residence. Ms. Sagara was supposed to bring the gentleman who spoke to the officer here so that he can inform us about the dog situation. So if we can hear for that, it's basically a compliance matter at this point.
Gar, will you please produce that witness?
Yes, give me one moment. Let me go get him. Your Honor,
Yes.
he's right here.
All right. Does he speak English?
No.
All right, Miss Ida,
Yes, Your Honor.
if you can please interpret any questions that the prosecutor might have.
Okay, let me just instruct the witness how it works. May I do that, Your Honor?
You can, and then I'm going to swear him in.
Okay, señor, ¿cómo se llama usted?
Juan Torres.
Ok, señor Juan Torres, yo le voy a estar interpretando las preguntas que haga el fiscal y lo que le pregunte el juez y lo que usted diga. Por favor, espere de que él haga la pregunta en inglés, yo se lo interprete en español y usted después contesta para que no hablemos uno más de una persona al tiempo. ¿Entendió?
Está bien, sí.
Ok, si va a decir algo largo, por favor haga pausas para yo poder interpretar, para poder oírnos bien, ¿ok?
Sí, está bien.
Y yo siempre hablo en la primera persona, yo tomo la voz de la persona que está hablando, ¿ok?
Está bien.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, if I can please have you to raise your right hand.
Por favor, levante su mano derecha, señor.
Do you swear or affirm
¿Usted jura o afirma
that
Sí.
the testimony you're about to give
que el testimonio que va a presentar ahora
is
Sí.
the truth, the whole truth,
es la verdad, toda la verdad?
so
Sí,
help you God?
Lo jura por Dios.
sí.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, did you have you can put your hand down, sir.
Puede bajar la mano ahora.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, did you want to question this witness?
Just quickly, Judge,
Okay. El fiscal le va a hacer unas preguntas, así que oiga y espere que yo interprete.
Está bien.
I believe you stated that your name was Mr. Juan Torres. Is that correct?
Creo que usted dijo que su nombre era Juan Torres. ¿Es eso correcto?
Sí,
Yes.
Were you at the residence at 4544 Glade Road in Forest Park?
¿Usted estaba en la residencia 4544 Lake Road en Forest Park?
y después yo estaba ahí en la calle esperando a una persona.
I was outside, out on the street, you know, waiting for a person.
Was this on September 25th of 2022?
Esto fue el 5 de septiembre del 2022.
Parece que sí.
I believe, it seems like it, I believe so.
Were you there when Officer Ellis arrived at that location regarding a dog biting an Amazon driver?
Usted estuvo ahí en ese sitio cuando el agente Ellis estaba ahí porque un perro había mordido a un conductor de Amazon.
Y después yo estaba ahí a un lado de la calle esperando a una persona que la fui a ver.
I was there in the street waiting for somebody that I went to see.
Okay. Did you witness the dog bite the Amazon driver?
¿Usted vio y presenció cuando el perro mordió al conductor de Amazon?
Pues yo estaba ahí y andaban unos perros en la calle, a un lado de esa casa y estaba una iglesia.
I was there and there were some dogs in the street around that house and close to a church.
Okay.
Continúe.
Do you live at that address, 4544 Glade Road?
¿Usted vive en esa dirección? 4544 Glaze Road. ¿Usted vive ahí?
Sí, me vine a vivir apenas para acá.
Yes, I just started living here.
Okay. Were you living there on September 25th of 2022?
¿Usted estaba viviendo en esa dirección el 5 de septiembre del 2022?
No.
No.
Okay. where were you living on September 25th of 2022?
¿Dónde estaba viviendo usted el 5 de septiembre del 2022?
Y yo vivía yo más abajo con una cuñada.
May I clarify something, Mr.
Yes, please.
Prosecutor? Usted dijo que, repítame lo que dijo.
Yo vivía en la misma calle, pero con una cuñada.
Okay, I lived I was living on the same street, but I was living with a sister-in-law.
Okay. Since you've been, I'm sorry. Are there any dogs that reside at the address where you are now?
¿Hay algún perro que vive en la dirección donde usted está viviendo ahora?
No.
No.
All right, I have no further questions, Judge.
Okay, no tiene más preguntas.
Does the city have an announcement in this matter, Mr. Prosecutor?
Yeah, Judge, based on the fact that this witness was produced, we would dismiss this case. I don't believe there's sufficient evidence that would determine that the dogs that actually did the cause of the violation to be issued were dogs that belong to Mr. Segarra.
Okay, Ms. Segarra,
Yes,
the prosecution is dismissing this case. Have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
I have.
Do we have her information?
Yes.
All right, you will receive through your email by close of business tomorrow, a plea form, enter a not guilty plea. And after you've done that, the court is able to enter the order of dismissal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Please understand that if you do not sign the plea form and send it back, this will remain an open case and you will be given a new court date. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You can disengage.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, I'm going to go back to the top of the calendar. Ms. Ida, I don't think there are any other cases that require your attention, but if you want to go ahead and sound just to be on the safe side.
Sure, Your Honor. Buenos días. ¿Hay alguna persona que necesite intérprete? Por favor, déjenos saber. Díganos por el micrófono, active su micrófono y la cámara si necesita intérprete.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. The first matter will be Gia Benton, Shanteria Murphy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Oh.
Shanteria Murphy. All right, so Mr. Prosecutor, it looks like on the following two closely charged, the witness is not here. Does the city have an announcement on the following two closely charged?
Yes, Your Honor, city would dismiss that charge for warrant of prosecution.
All right. On the failure to maintain insurance charge, that involves Officer Cutler. Is he present? Does the city have an announcement on the failure to maintain insurance charge?
We dismiss that one for warrant of prosecution also, Judge.
All right, Ms. Benton, it looks like the witnesses are not here. Both charges will be dismissed for warrant of prosecution. Do you understand that, young lady?
Yes, sir.
All right, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Can we confirm that we have Ms. Benton's information?
Yes, we have it.
All right, Ms. Benton, you will receive no later than close of business tomorrow your plea form. Enter a not guilty plea to both violations and send it back through DocuSign. Once you have done that, the court will enter an order of dismissal. Understand, if you fail to do that, you will be given a new court date because this will still be an open case. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. You can disengage.
Thank you.
All right. So it looks like the last matter on the calendar is Ms. Obla Bryce. This is Officer Askew, and it is a disorderly conduct charge.
Hello.
All right, how are you doing, Ms. Obla Bryce? She has entered a not guilty plea. Hello there, Officer Askew.
Good morning, Judge.
Everyone that is going to testify in this matter, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? If so, say I do.
I do.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, you want to go ahead and present this case?
Yes, Your Honor. Back to my citation. I think somebody's microphone is giving us some feedback. There we go. All right. So, Your Honor, Ms. Ola Bryce is before the court because on June 11th of 2022, she received a citation for disorderly conduct, and this is a city ordinance disorderly conduct. Officer Askew issued that citation. Officer Askew, on dated questions, you have an opportunity to come in contact with Ms. Ola Bryce.
Yes,
And was that contact within the city limits of Forest Park?
yes, it was.
Are you a post-certified peace officer with arrest powers?
I am.
Can you briefly state the nature of the contact?
So I was dispatched to 507 Georgia Avenue in reference to a disturbance that had taken place earlier in the day. And from my understanding, Miss Ola Bryce and her sister had gotten into an altercation prior to me actually showing up on scene. They were actually at I want to say it was a family get together or a birthday party or something of that sort. And Miss one of them, I believe it may have been Miss Makia, fled the scene, and I called them to come back, and we met at a gas station across the street from the actual apartments. And at that point, I issued both parties a disorderly conduct citation.
Okay, and let me just clarify. You issued both parties disorderly conducts. What was the disorderly based on Miss Ola Bryce?
Due to how both of them were, both of them, they were both, how do I put it, loud and boisterous in front of, it was a group of children there. They were out in public and both of them were fighting with each other. So I decided to cite both parties with disorderly conduct.
Okay, so in reference to the report that you issued, you went into the location when you were dispatched and spoke with witnesses who were still on the scene, is that correct?
Yes.
That's how you got the information from Miss Ola Bryce to contact her to meet her somewhere,
Yes.
is that correct? All right, and once you met with them, they confirmed, at least in your mind, they confirmed that there was some sort of an altercation or argument in public, is that correct?
Yes.
The information that you corroborated with the statements you got from the witnesses at the location indicated that there was some sort of disturbance outside in public. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. No further questions for this witness, Judge.
All right. Ms. Obler Bryce, do you have any questions you'd like to ask the police officer? You're not compelled to do so, but you do have the right.
I really don't. I would like to know who was the witness, but besides that, I really don't because
Well,
the
can
time.
you explain, let me just ask, if is your question, who was the witness? Is that what your question is?
Yes.
All right, so she has a question of you, officer. Is there a witness to this?
Yes, it was her mother.
It was her mother. Okay. All right, Ms. Obler Bryce, do you have any other questions?
No. Well, I didn't. Could I have brought a witness on?
Absolutely. This is your trial. So you could have done that. Do you have any other questions? You're going to have a chance to make a statement, but do you have any other questions?
Is there any other way we could, as far as postpone and redo it, so I could bring the witnesses on as far as the same witness and then some?
Well, we're in the middle of a trial now, so there is no way for us to postpone this. Do you have any other witnesses?
Any other questions now?
Okay. You have no other questions. Does the city have any other evidence?
No other evidence, Judge.
All right. So she and her sister were charged. Is that correct, Officer Askew?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Ms. Yates, do we have a disposition in the matter involving her sister?
One moment, I'll check. She isn't, well,
She pled NOLO back in August, but she is failure to comply with the
Okay, so
fine.
we've already disposed of the case involving her sister, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. All right, Ms. Obler-Bryce, the city has rested its case. If there's a statement you'd like to make, you can make it. You're not compelled to make one, but if you'd like to say something, you certainly can. And then the city prosecutor does have the right to ask you questions if he so chooses. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, is there a statement you'd like to make, young lady?
Yes. As far as the witness, which is my mom, she would have, I don't even know. This is it's crazy because I wasn't staying there. First of all, I wasn't staying there at the time, so I didn't like flee the scene. I went to where I was staying, which was a hotel, and I came back when I received the call from the police officer. But my mom, she would, if we could have another trial, I didn't know that I could bring her on and admit to that. She didn't know, she doesn't know, she didn't know what was happening. And she was intoxicated, she was drunk when she made those accusations or whatever accusations that they made on that day. I was the one being attacked, and I was attacked by both of them.
So let me just say this to you. I think the police officer's testimony is not what took place between you and your sister. I think his testimony relates to your conduct when he was in your presence. So do you want to tell us about what happened when you got in the police officer's presence?
He called me back and basically asked what happened. And I was letting him know that I went to pick up my kids from a party that my sister took them to because my daughter had peed on herself and my sister been gone for hours. I explained this to him and everything, and I was upset at the fact that my mom came over there. They were saying that I hit my sister upside the head with a gun. They were saying that I hit her in the head with a gun. My mom attacked me with her cane, and I took her cane and I threw it down. And my sister was on the ground because she had stabbed me in my leg 3 times. And I told him that. So I was like, I got stab wounds in my leg with her keys 3 times. Like I told him I didn't hit her. I told him he could sit the gun. I said, you want the gun to take it, just for evidence or whatever. But he said no. He told me he was charging us with the disorderly conduct. And I was like, but I didn't do anything wrong. I had 2 witnesses plus my kids that was actually there for the whole incident, from the time we got there, going upstairs to get my kids, to the time we came back downstairs with what happened with my sister and my mom. I had 2 witnesses there, 2 adult witnesses and a kid witness, a 13-year-old, if that makes anything. They came out, they was letting the officer know that I didn't do anything. And I was really upset and emotional, and I was in there crying, like, because I don't understand why I'm being charged if they attacked me. I didn't disturb. I left the scene after everything was done, and I went back to my residence, and that was it. That's the only statement.
The prosecutor may have some questions. Mr. Prosecutor, do you have any questions, sir?
I do, Judge. Ms. Obler-Bryce, you recall meeting with Officer Askew in reference to this disturbance, do you not?
Yes, I was called. I was in off of Tower Boulevard, and I was called back to Forest Park.
Okay. When you came back to Forest Park, you did speak to Officer Askew?
Yes, I spoke to him, and it was another officer, late female officer out there.
And you told Officer Askew that your sister, I believe her name is Shari, that she stabbed you and cut you with the knife. Is that correct?
She stabbed me with her scissors. I mean, not her scissors, I'm sorry, with her keys.
With her keys. And then you showed him some scratches on your leg. Is that correct?
I showed him some 3 stab wounds on my leg, yes.
Okay. And did you get a copy of the police report?
No.
All right. So in the police report, Officer Askew has stated that he examined both of you because there was an accusation about you hitting your sister with a gun in the head. And let me just read what he says so I don't take anything out of context. I spoke to a witness who stated that she did not see Ma'Khia hit Shari in the face with a gun, and she did not see Shari stab Ma'Khia in the leg. I examined, this is Officer Askew, I examined Shari, and she had a scratch on her forehead that was not consistent with somebody getting hit with a barrel of a gun and scratches to her wrist. I examined Micaiah, and she had multiple cuts to her leg that looked like her skin had been scratched off. Now, an officer Askew did his investigation, and he examined both of y'all. You guys had already admitted that y'all were in an altercation. Is that not correct?
Yes, but he didn't examine my legs. Like he didn't he didn't look at the bruises on my legs. He did not.
How would he have made the comment that he looked at your leg and saw the scratch marks on there? You were stabbed, right?
I was stabbed. Yeah, I was showing. It was visible. I was trying to show him. It was dark. It was late at night. Everything happened at night. And I was showing him, trying to show him. But as far as him examining it, like looking at it, he did not look at the stab wounds on my leg.
Were you bleeding?
Yes, I was. I was bleeding down my leg. Yes, I was. And that's.
Did you go to the hospital after that?
Huh?
Did you go to the hospital? Did you receive any treatment?
No.
Okay. So the only reason I bring this up is because according to the statements that you made, and according to the statements that your sister made, and according to the statements that people on the scene made, there was an altercation.
There was.
All right. And you're not being charged with the extent of the altercation. You're charged with the altercation that caused a disturbance. Your charge is disorderly conduct because it was in a public place. Do you agree that there was an altercation in public?
Yes, outside being public, yes.
And that altercation caused at some point for the officer to be dispatched to that location. So somebody called 911.
A drunken witness, an intoxicated witness called 911. Yes. Okay. I mean, it may. I don't. Yes.
All right. No further questions, Judge.
Okay.
Influence. Do that make a difference that the person that called it was under the influence of alcohol?
Well, let me just say this to you. The person is not here. So I don't know whether the person was under the influence or not, but I will note that you're saying that they were. Okay. All right. Does the city have any other questions? It sounds like the city's finished with this questioning. Ms. Ola Bryce, are there any witnesses or any other evidence you'd like to present other than the testimony you've given?
Not at this time. I don't have.
This will be the only time because, of course, this is your trial date. Okay. All right. So do you rest your case?
Yes.
All right. Both sides have rested. Ms. Ola Bryce, you've been charged with the offense of disorderly conduct. Based on the evidence that the court has heard, the court does find you guilty of this violation. Do you understand that?
I hear you.
All right, the court is imposing a fine of $285. Is that something that can be paid in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
Probably it could probably be paid in 2 weeks. I'm in a situation right now, so I don't really for sure know.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is place you on probation, which gives you a longer time to pay it. Do you understand that?
I could try to pay it in 2 weeks.
All right, young lady, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes.
All right, do we have Ms. Obla Bryce's information, Ms. Yates?
Yes, we do.
All right, so with Ms. Obla Bryce, what will happen is you will receive your plea form through your email, through DocuSign. You will enter a not guilty plea. After you have done that, you will send that back immediately and they will send you your 2-week agreement. Make sure the sum of $285 is paid within 2 weeks so that you're not charged with any other penalties. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You will also receive your guilty plea form after you've sent back your found guilty court disposition form showing that you were found guilty after a trial and that you were ordered to pay the sum of $285 and you said you'd pay it within 2 weeks. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Young lady, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
No, I never received anything through my email from the last 2 court dates that I had scheduled.
Okay, let us confirm your email address. What is it?
It's KISSWAGSERVICE@gmail.com.
Let me pronounce that KISSWAGSERVICE@gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay, do we have that, Ms. Yates?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, we have that, young lady. So please make sure, and if you don't get anything with your email through close of business tomorrow, please contact the court immediately, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, young lady. You can disengage. Officer Askew, thank you for your service, sir. You can
Ola-
disengage as
Ms.
well.
Bryce,
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Bryce, if you don't receive anything in your inbox, check your spam.
I do, but okay,
All right.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Obler-Bryce, you can disengage and thank you.
Okay.
Does that take care of all the matters on the calendar today?
It appears so, Judge. Let me ask you, I think I missed the announcement on James Fulton on page 3, second person.
Yeah, he was FTA at 8:49.